Every worker has the right to work in a safe environment. There are processes put in place to achieve this, but like our fatal hazard protocols and life-saving behaviors, they can only be successful if we all take responsibility and hold ourselves accountable for our actions. It is your responsibility to stop work if you feel unsafe. Let's take a closer look at how you can take your safety into your own hands. Who is responsible for your safety? Is it Mopani copper mines? Is it your supervisor? Is it your team? The truth is, they all have responsibilities when it comes to your safety. And so do you. Remember to always work safe while keeping the Mopani Way values in mind. Our Safe Mining program highlights the procedures and protocols to help protect you from hazards. Before any work can begin, the supervisor must inspect the working area to make sure it is safe and barricade any unsafe areas. Then, each worker must attend the pre-shift GCOM meeting where the supervisor will communicate details of the shift's activities, including the hazards associated with the task ahead, as well as controls, action details, and life-saving behaviors. The supervisor will then sign a safe work declaration and work can begin. Now let's look at a safety procedure you should follow before you begin any task. A slam must be done when you enter any new work area, you start work, you suspect any change in the conditions of your work area, or you take a mid-shift break. The SLAM assessment is a simple tool that every worker can use to manage personal risk. It's simple. Stop and think through each step of the task. Look for any potential hazards that could be encountered during the task steps. Assess any hazards that were found and assess your knowledge, training and tools to make sure you are ready to complete the task. If you feel it is unsafe to start work, report to your supervisor and request that they conduct a SLAM with you. Manage your findings, which may include removing hazards or reporting them to your supervisor and making sure you have the correct equipment. Make sure you feel safe in your work environment at all times by performing the SLAM steps before, during, and after every task. Next, check to see if there's a safe work procedure in place. This procedure outlines the risks associated with the task and it lists the control measures in place to prevent a hazard that could cause incident or injury. Before you get started, check if there is equipment involved in completing your task and make sure you are trained and authorized to operate that equipment. In this case, the operator would need to be trained and authorized to operate the drill rig machine. And don't forget to conduct a pre-use inspection of the equipment. If no issues have arisen during the pre-use inspection, you are ready to get to work. Complete the task according to procedure and remember to stay alert to your surroundings and be ready to identify any problems that may occur during your task. We are aware that there are many factors that can affect your safety and the successful completion of your task, so we've put procedures in place to help you should any problems occur during the process. Always remember that you have the right to stop work. Let's go back and take a look at the procedure to follow. If you encounter any problem during your SLAM assessment, stop and alert your supervisor immediately. If you are not authorized to operate a piece of equipment, you are expected to follow procedure and stop to report to your supervisor immediately so that alternative arrangements can be made. Stopping work does not mean you are neglecting your duties or that you will be reprimanded. You are simply following procedure and looking out for your personal safety and the safety of others. Once you have informed your supervisor, the best course of action will be decided and put into effect. If there were no problems encountered in your SLAM assessment, but there is no safe work procedure, alert your supervisor, who must then conduct a job safety assessment. This assessment will help your supervisor identify hazards and recommend the safest way to complete the task. It will also reveal whether the task is routine or not. If it is not routine, redo your SLAM assessment and continue the procedure outlined in the Job Safety Analysis, or JSA, which describes your job task, identifies hazards, and recommends the safest way to proceed. But if the task is routine, a workplace risk assessment and control will need to be conducted. This assessment is an important safety procedure because it determines whether the task is high risk or low risk. If the task is not considered high risk, redo the SLAM assessment, and if no problems arise, continue the work. If the task is high risk, senior management must develop a safe work procedure. You may continue your work by following the JSA under the direct supervision of your supervisor. For added safety, our supervisors use a range of management tools like planned task observations, visible felt leadership, and safety interactions. Mopani copper mines will then develop a safe work procedure and training program so that all workers are equipped to deal with this task in the future. We must all have the courage to stop work at any time if we believe that we are at risk of being injured. Remember these situations where you should consider safety and stop work. If you encounter a problem during your SLAM, if you are not trained or authorized to perform a task, if you are required to operate equipment but don't have the necessary training, anytime you find safety issues during a pre-use inspection of equipment, and if there's no safe work procedure in place, stop work and report any unsafe situation. We are our brother's keeper. It is our duty to remember the safety procedures and to look out for ourselves and for each other.